Hello, everybody. I just, I realized, before we literally just before we went live, my face was really hot, and then I was like, I should give my face a good spray and down in just a second, then hit the go live button, then sprayed myself in the face, and then realized I had to put my face on camera, but it was a risk if the camera was even going to work. That was, ugh, this thing, man, honestly. The the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks of heat melted something in the lens of the camera. This one. It it came back today. So I plugged it in, ready to go. So, but yeah, I'm not sweating yet. It's just I'm very shiny because I've just sprayed myself in the face. Because this thing right here, as Alice has one of these for watering the plants indoors, but since the heat wave has come, it's become a way to keep ourselves cool in front of a fan. I have a fan. It's back here. It's working away. It's doing its thing. It's entirely useless. It's not really doing very much. You can probably hear it on the microphone. I can only apologise for that. But otherwise, this is not possible at all. So yeah, when it gets too hot, it's just a case of just doing this. Oh. And then glasses go back on. So that's where we're at. Hello everyone, we're back. We're doing a live. It's been 3 weeks since we last went live, apparently. Which is awful. And I really do apologise. It's been impossible up here. It's been awful, 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 disgusting. So I can only try and make it up to you guys by soldiering through today. So, hello everybody. We got some fan funding, is what they call that. Mr. Mark Watson has been a member for 59 months. That means we're coming up on. Wait, does that mean we're coming up? That's 5 years next month. Is that what that means? Must be. Anyway, incredible, amazing. You're amazing. Thank you very much. And then Andy with the $10 super chat. You guys are starting today off right. Because I haven't been able to do very much work. Oh boy, is things going bad for me right now. So we're gonna try and change that this week. We're just gonna soldier on. But thank you very much for the $10. I really do appreciate that. Amazing, thank you. And Ricky Drinks Paint has been a member for 38 months as well. Legendary. Thank you so much. Lovely and cool today in comparison to recently. Yeah, today it's in my local area. It's not quite yet the hottest that it's going to be. It's over the next hour. It's due to be 28 outside. The difference being is that up here right now it's actually, according to the thermometer, it's 35 degrees up here now. So this is the first time I've put a t-shirt on in 2 weeks. Look who didn't boil to death. I'm close. It might happen whilst we're live, because obviously I've got the cameras going. Hopefully this one survives. We've got the lights on, we've got the camera up, we've got the computer on, we've got the monitors on. So it's only going to get worse where I'm sat. It's going to probably hit sort of 38, 39 whilst I'm sat here. So we'll try and live. Today is practically cold. Yeah, no, outside, like we actually didn't need to have like full bore cooling downstairs to sleep last night, which was just so very welcome. And actually, it was cooler last night as well, from about 1 o'clock, which is when I've been able to work. So I've been able to do the last 2 weeks. I've been able to do from about 1 a.m. till about 4:30 a.m., which is just a fraction of what I would normally do, which sucks. But yeah, So things have been coming out pretty slowly. Hopefully that's going to change, though. I mean, it has to, because I've got so much I need to do. And we need to just get on with it. Anyway, we're back. We're live. Today we're going to be painting up some more of the Chaos Warriors. This is what I've been working on the last 3 nights. And I've not done very much of them. I'm working on 8 of them all simultaneously. The plan with the Chaos Warriors has been to do them in a simple way, as simple as I possibly can, and we've started that process. So the first thing I need to do today, in a minute, is dry brush the silver, and then we're going to apply basically a lot of Black Legion, and that's probably going to be it, because it's just going to take a while to get all of that done. I am armed. Anyway, name is long enough to be annoying, of course. Thank you very much for being a member for 15 months. Well, 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 look who didn't boil to death. Indeed. And then Edward, member for 35 months, who will be victorious, hopefully, the winter. Winter, hopefully. And Hex and Violence, thank you very much for being a member for 2 months. Guys, if you really would like to support the channel, I really would appreciate it. As we like to stream frequently and often, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. You can do so by dropping a super chat, you can do so by becoming a member, or gifting some members out to the community, of course. And there is other ways to do that as well. You know, you can buy some ruby brushes. There's a link in the description. There's also a PayPal link if you don't want to give YouTube any money, any of that sort of thing. Or you could just drop a $200 super chat, like Name is Long Enough to Be Annoying, he's so far from annoying, it's not even... Name is long enough to be worthy of the titles that we should bestow upon this man. This is a bribe, and it is required for me to bribe when I can. Eisen and Easterlings, as well, you know. He's funded that video many times over. You need a third one, my friend. You need a third one. And then he's got to drop 50 gifted memberships as well. Oh, absolute hero. Bloody hero. Absolute hero. Hero of the Warhipster Imperiumster. Thank you so much, buddy. I really, really appreciate it. Please, thank you. I can't add a third one, you'll get stressed. Maybe, who's to say? Let's do some painting though, you never know. Oh, you're talking about a third video, I see. Oh, right. There's one thing I need to do. I need to update this Models Painted, because that has moved on. It's been 3 weeks since we last updated that. So where are we at? 297, 294. So let's go back to that last count. So the last time I had a solid count was 270. And that was before Armageddon. So since then we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10... 15, 18, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 34, 40, 44, 45, 46, 47 models since then. So 47, so 270 plus 47 is 317? That's what that should say. There we go. No, not 2,317. I'm not that good. 317. There we go. Lovely. Thank you so much. Name is long enough to be annoying. Bad enough I'm asking for 2 vids. Never. Never, never, never. I've just finished painting the rims of the Necron half of the Tomb World box. I can finally treat myself to building and painting the Deathwatch half. I'm so happy. Oh, excellent. I'm also happy the heat hasn't killed you off. Yeah, well, it's come close several times. Alright, let me show you where we are at with Chaos Warriors. Let's go over here. Boom. It does work. Yay! My buttons and things work. My Stream Deck broke as well. The heat just went... Meow. I'll tell you the list of things that have broken because of the heat in our house. The toilet, our shower, my face cam, my stream deck. I made a good job of trying to cut my own toe off last night. I dropped my hobby knife on my foot. I'm not sure if I can show the picture because it's quite bloody. But yeah, just suffice to say, I didn't do. I can show it here. Look at that. Because it's small. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, this is what we're working on. So we've got 8 of these guys. We've got the drummer. We've got the banner. We've got 5 just normal regular dudes as well. So we're going to do a little bit of work on this. And it's one of those things where, because there's so much external stimuli, I don't actually really have to do much in the way of like kind of muting things or anything like that. Because I'm going to have to replace all the voiceovers anyway. Did the toilet melt? No, what happened, I think, is one of the pipes, the heat has just expanded one of the pipes too much, and one of the rings inside one of the U-bend pipes has broken. So now there's a small leak every time you, every time the intake pipe basically leaks every time you flush it. So it's just a little bit of clean water just comes out every time. So it's just like, great. We're hoping that when it cools down, it'll settle, and then it'll be a lot. We'll be able to go in and look at it. But yeah, it's just honestly, it's a miracle. Like the TV didn't explode, and you know, I didn't have kidney failure, or you know, whatever. Like just all these extra things that could have gone wrong. It's just been awful the last couple of weeks, as I know it has been for everybody. I try not to complain too much, but. Damn it. I just want to complain about it. My life is so hard, except it's not really. Here we go. Let's just quickly do the next bit. I'm just going to do this. Keep the music going and everything. And I always leave a note to myself as well so that I remember to do it, even though the clip is going to sound dodgy, but I just tell myself what I'm doing. So then what I do is I go, replace audio, iron breaker, dry brush, all silver. And then I just record it as normal. So, with all of that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to dry brush all of the silver with some iron breaker. Just like this. And this is going to set us up quite nicely for when it comes to doing our final dry brushes, because we'll be able to add in kind of a little bit of sort of an element of dust when we come to dry brush the rest of the details. But we can do this now without accidentally getting silver on all of like places we don't want it to be, for example. There we go. We did it! We did some painting during the day! Wahoo! Oh, Frabjous Day, Kaloo Calais. So, yeah. Where are we at? Plumber's tape, you would sort that. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's just I think we have to unscrew the unit from the back of the wall, so we need to drain the water and all that kind of thing. It's probably just easier. Our landlord, I believe, is a plumber, so we should be able to just get him to do it pretty quickly. It's just I like to tell him what is wrong with something before he comes and has to investigate. And it's quite easy sometimes when it's like, oh, the fence panel is blown down. He just goes, all right, I'll come and I'll send my fencing guy. And we fixed the shower. Well, yeah, we fixed the shower. That was easy enough. It's just the screw, basically the screw ring that it got into the shower lead had snapped, so there was a leak at the base of the shower ring. So when you turn the shower on, you just get sprayed fully in the face with it, even though it was facing down. It's just quite an uncomfortable experience. So Al found basically a matching shower head, and she picked it up yesterday, and then we took the old shower head off and discovered that that's what had happened. So yeah, just replaced it. That was easy enough to do. And like I said, my Stream Deck basically just didn't want to... What happened is my Stream Deck... The reason my Stream Deck was broken is one of the buttons, I pressed it in and it just would not come back out. And I think it was just stuck. And then last night it got cool enough and it just went pop straight out. And I was like, oh. And then I was like pressing the button very gently, and you could feel it like something's melted in there. But since it's cool enough today, it does appear to be fine. So it means I can switch between things anyway manually, but the Stream Deck just makes life so much easier to do it with. Two down. Hi Warhipster, I'm from Vietnam and I really enjoy your video right now up building my orc army. Your videos helped a lot. Lovely. Thank you very much. I'm glad I could help. We have a lot of orcs content that I need to do, but I haven't had the time. As I explained in the starter set sprue review, for those of you wondering where it's been, the last 3 videos to do are Orc Boys and Gretchen and the Dakar rig. Now the Dakar rig is finished. The Dakar rig video is ready to be edited and distributed at my leisure. The boys though, I haven't done anything with the boys yet, and I decided, perhaps foolishly, that I was going to do the boys alongside the starter set, because inside the starter set you get 20 boys. So that would give me 40 boys. 40 boys to paint. And it just so happens we've been doing 4 different clans as we've been going along with Armageddon. So we are going to try and build up 20 boys this weekend. And then we're going to try and paint 40 boys over the coming weeks, so that we can do our, similar to the clan rats, 40 boys in one video, 4 clans. Here's the sort of template, like we go through across all of them and we chop and change between, let's say like for the trousers, we're going to chop and change between like let's say Wildwood and Black Legion. We're going to do that for all the trousers, and for all the boots we're going to do Cygor Brown, and for all the shirts we're going to do Rattling Grime and Snakebite Leather, and we're just going to chop and change these between all 40 of us, so that what we then will be left with, once we've done like the skin and we've done all the leather and we've done all that, we'll be left with the heraldic and metallic details. And then what we can do is we can just put it all together by just being like blue for Death Skulls, red for Evil Suns, yellow for Bad Moons, and black for Goths. That's the plan to do with the Orc Boys. So hopefully it happens. So we're going to try and get that done in the coming weeks. I want to at the very minimum get it done before the Orcs release is previewed, I guess. Or at least once the Orcs release is previewed, I definitely want to have that video at least halfway done. I mean, I don't know when it's coming out or anything like that. And I think today they're supposed to share a 40k reveal as well as... is it Morga Morga, is that her name? The Ogre Moor tribes? I've already forgotten it. But I think they're supposed to share that as well today. So they're supposed to share the Deathmire results usually on a Monday, but maybe they'll let Age of Sigmar breathe for once. That would be nice. My brother, hope this helps get some AC. Thank you very much, Andy. That is the plan for when we finally move. Can't do it here, though. It's rented accommodation. I've got an AC unit, but it doesn't work. It works really well downstairs because of the nature of science. It's really nice. So it's helped us sleep, and it's helped us sort of exist downstairs. But up here, it's just impossible. It is a fool's errand. I would need some industrial strength AC to make this room work. For what I need to do in it. You see what I mean? But thank you very much for the 10. Very kind of you. You guys have been very generous today. I really appreciate it. I can only apologise I haven't been around very much over the last couple of months. It has been a number of challenges that have been going on, not least to do with the heat and the hay fever and the insane amounts of things that we've had to do and all this kind of stuff. I really appreciate the support, guys, honestly. It keeps the lights on. Keeps us going. Keeps us going beyond our 7th year, which our 7-year anniversary of our first ever video. If you didn't see the sprue review at the weekend, our 7th anniversary of releasing videos on this platform was on yesterday. It was the 12th. We've been going for 12 years. I started the channel on the 11th, so I signed up to YouTube on the 11th, but I put my first ever video live, which was the Neophyte Hybrids for the Gene Stealer cult. That first ever video went live on the 12th of July 2019, which is crazy, right? Can you believe it? And we've been going strong ever since. Took us a little while to get really started at the beginning, but I filmed the first ever video in my parents' garage, because I was living there in between jobs, and then I did a couple more, but then I got a job offer and I moved back to London for a year, and I didn't do very much from July to like November, but then I did Mephiston, which was kind of the first video that sort of really popped off for me. Because that model arrived and I just built, primed and painted it in like a day. So it was like, hey, I've got the model. Hey, here it is. And then, yeah, 7 years later, here we are. We're still going. We're live streaming on the internet. It's good stuff, isn't it? It's exciting. Hello, Alec, man. It's been a long while. Hope you're well. Hope you're keeping well. Where are we up to? Hello, Abdul. Hope you can do the remaining clans later. For orcs, there's only one as far as I know, and that's because it's blood axes. But I think if Games Workshop sends me that new Orc War boss that they showed off, the multi-part one, there's a reference there for Death Skulls. I'll do it then. I'll do Death Skulls then. Aside from Chaos Boys, what vids are you looking to edit this week? Oh, that's a really good choice. Good question. What else have we got? This week we have got... ladies and gentlemen, you tell me what you would like to see. So we've got Rohan Commanders. We've got Hell Tribesman Commanders. Including the Oathmaker. Because name is long enough to be annoying. Sent me an Oathmaker ages ago. To complete the set. And then... I didn't have any time to do it at the time, and now you can get a plastic oath maker, but we wanted to show off the resin one as well, because it's the same model fundamentally. The pose is just a little bit different. So we've done that. So there's Rohan commanders, there's Hill Tribes commanders. There is the Aspiring Champion on Demonic Steed. And there is the... what am I thinking of? Dakarig, the Big Mech Dakarig from Armageddon. Those are the 4. We're also going to release the... well, hopefully we get this done as well, actually. I mean, that would be really nice. It'd be cool if I could get these done today. I mean, I'm not going to get them done on camera, because, you know, we're already 27 minutes in, and it's unlikely, given the amount of Black Legion that we're going to need to apply, that that's going to take less than 2 hours. But we can live and dream. We can live and hope. You know? There we go. Where did I get to? Your Clan Rats video was super helpful. Looking forward to the boys video. Thank you. I'm looking forward to doing it as well. I did think as well, maybe it would be slightly insane to do it, but because I can't paint 50 models at once, that will drive me insane. But I did think we probably need to get the Beast Snagger boys done as well at some point very soon. I think they're in the Exodite box, so it'd be good to do them around the sort of similar time. Also, you know, it's fairly topical. Orcs are going on at the moment, all that good stuff. Cathay Jade Lancers. We don't need to do the Jade Lancers. You have the Jade Warriors video. They will never let AOS breathe. That's true. That's true. Morgan the Mighty, which can also be built as the generic Tyrant on Gluthorn. Thank you very much. Yes, I get that right. Where are we up to? Good evening, Mini Painting Dad. How are you, sir? Long time no see. Long time no see to all of you, really. Look forward to seeing the new Ogre models painted. If you go to Warhammer Community right now, you can see Ogre models painted. Sadly, no 40k reveals. Well, 40k has had a lot of the spotlight recently, so I'm glad if they give it a rest. Maybe we'll get the Deathmire released tomorrow. Or there's still time today, I guess. Has anyone checked Warcom? Now? Let's have a look. Warhammer Community. No. I mean, there were still Space Marines things today anyway, because Horus Heresy got a look in. Those damned Horus Heresy. Okay, so the next job, as already mentioned, is going to be to apply Black Legion over the top of all of the armor panels, because all of the metallics are now finished because we've dry brushed them all. But they're not quite, because what we're going to do for the armor is we're going to do a combination of 2 dry brushes. We're going to be doing Karak stone over top of everything that isn't armor, but we're also going to catch some of the armor here and there. But for the armor, we're going to give it a very gentle lead belt to dry brushing as well, so it has that sort of metal / dirty black kind of finish. I think it'll look really cool, and also crucially it makes it quite simple to do. So I guess I best just get on with it, really. Shall we do it? Right, let's... oh no, we don't need to do that. Filming. Let's go. So with our metallics all... Oh, wait, hang on. Replace audio, Black Legion, armor. So with our metallics all dry brushed, we're now going to take some Black Legion, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the armor. There we go. This is one of those things where I'll just be happy if we get the Black Legion done on the 4 that are on the painting handles. That will feel like a victory. If we get any more than that done, that will be the stretch. The stretch target. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. So what have you guys been up to during the heat wave? Has much hobby been going on for everybody out there? Or has it been more of a staring angrily at the pile of miniatures, like me, being like, I'm a Joshua guy. I swear to God. If it was just 5 degrees cooler, I would be painting all over you. It's an accurate, dramatic reconstruction of what the vibe has been like in my house. Cool. One leg. You plan on painting the Caiaphas Cain model? I have it. What I don't have is the time to do it at the moment. So maybe. I'll do it if I can. But I am so behind. So far behind on my to-do list that at certain points one just has to cut her losses on some models and come back to it at a different time. But never say never. If I'm able to, in a sudden burst of activity, because it finally gets a little bit cooler and more tolerable up here, like it kind of is today. I mean, it's sweltering hot. It's already getting. I can feel it. I can feel already. It's just it's ramping up as we stream. But yeah, if we can, we will. It's just. As I said to the wonderful gentleman who was upset with me that I didn't do Freya, Laugh, Olwyn and Leaf at the same time as the Riders of Rohan, who isn't name is long enough to be annoying. It was a miracle that the Riders of Rohan got done in this heat. And painting 6 characters at the same time as that was just gonna be impossible. But they're on the desk. And actually today, I haven't looked inside the package, but for MESBG fans out there, I did find on Etsy, because I didn't buy it at the time. Ricky Drinks Paint sent me a really good link to somebody who was selling them, but that person has since stopped selling them. But somebody else is now selling them, and it's probably the same person, to be fair. But I did get and order some decals for Gamling's banner. So we have everything we need to do Rohan now, apart from the 18 Riders of Rohan that I wanted to buy. And was told, we don't have the stock, you can't have them. I was like, oh. Well, that's disappointing. So my plan is to go to Games Workshop in the morning on Saturday. And see if they have any. And if they do, I will be buying their stock. Because Ardacon is so not far away now. It is round the corner. Ardacon is the first weekend of August. And it's already the 13th of July. And I really, 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 really don't want to paint old riders in a world where new riders exist. I just don't want to do it. It is full on wasted effort then, because I would literally just be doing them from an event and then never using them ever again. So I guess I could use them and then sell them, but who wants to buy old Riders of Rohan when new Riders of Rohan exist? Wooden spoon winning Riders of Rohan list for sale. Some money. You're going to paint Jade Lancers. I'm not going to paint Jade Lancers. I may paint Jade Lancers someday when I choose to finish my Cathay army. The thing... Okay, so the thing with the Jade Lancers is, right, the colour scheme is exactly the same as the Jade Warriors. There is no difference whatsoever. And we also have a video, Contrast Plus, how the ultimate guide to painting horses. So that's covered there as well. So if you want to know how to paint Jade Lancers, watch the Jade Warriors video and watch the horses video. And that's the answer to the question. Because I like I said, we've already done it because of the Jade Warriors. I will eventually at some point do a Cathay army. I will finish my Cathay army because I've got a lot of Cathay stuff now. But I'm not... It's not a video that I am making a priority to do. If we're going to do a Cathay video, it's going to be... If I have the time to commit to a Cathay video, it'll be Astromancers or the Peasantry or the Gunners, the Crane Gunners, or it'll be the Sky Lantern. Because we don't have a video that's kind of fully analogous to those, as it were. I've nearly done one whole Chaos Warrior. One whole one. One whole Chaos Warrior. 16 in total in the box. One heat wave equals 0 Chaos Warriors painted. Yeah, painting the aspiring champions again. It was a case of I've got 3 hours tonight. I can paint for 3 hours. Good. Let's go for it. And the hardest part of that is, of course, is just that kind of feeling of just like being shackled, just being unable to do anything about it. I don't cope well in captivity. Nearly there, chat. I'll be able to read all the things you've been saying. Give me just a second. Nearly there. There we go. One. How long was that? 15 minutes. Of course it was. Missed a bit. Got it. Boom. There you go. Oh. You're mostly missing the new things for Cathay. Yeah. It's all the it's the peasant Levy, Astromancers and Crane Gunners, and then there's another one as well, isn't there? I painted 6 Agrodon Lancers. That was tough. Sweating and cursing the big lamp in the sky. Nice. I've only been painting 6 months, and I didn't realise how much difference a decent brush makes. I've been painting for 30 years, Wiki, and I didn't realise how much of difference a decent brush makes. Oh. I'm pinging you a tracking number in the next 10 minutes. Okay. What have you done? Oh, have you done a thing? You've done a thing, haven't you? You're a bloody legend. Random question, but I hope you'll humour me here. How long did it take you to build the terrain and relic markers from the AOS Spearhead City of Ashbox? Did I sprue review that one? Yes, I did. It's in a video. It'll be in there. It'll be in there. I just reboxed and they'll be shipped tomorrow. Oh, you're an absolute bloody legend. Now we wait. We wait to see if they arrive in time. Less than 18 spears. Half of what I hoped. Will they get here in time for Ardacon? Theoden has betrayed me. Maybe I'll use the time to paint up. So this is the thing, right? For Riders of Aemir, I'm good to go. Apart from Riders, I'm good to go when it comes to Riders of Aemir. But when it comes to like all the others, like Ride Out and Riders of Theoden, etc., etc., really the one you need to have is Gamling. Every list is like put Gamling in, have Gamling, do Gamling. Gamling has to be there. He has to be there with the Royal Standard of Rohan. So if I can, I could maybe use some time to get a pile of Rohan characters done whilst waiting for them. But again, it all depends on the time. Because things are going to be very busy in July, I suspect. Very, very busy indeed. And we just have to power through, you know? Power through the heat. This is me being nice, and it's a bribe for Eyes and Easterlings. I get it, I get it. I understand. Don't worry, I never get it twisted that it isn't anything other than... further incentive to do Isengard and Easterlings. I'm not some block-headed Grace Girdle from Hardbottle. Hey? 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 It is funny though, like when the heat and stuff came around, like, you know, it's only really been this bad, I would say, the last like 3 years, because I have distinct memories of like doing a whole summer or two up here and it being perfectly lovely and fine. But the last couple of years it's been hideous in terms of the like the heat waves and stuff, and like the max temperatures and how it just gets as stuffy as it does up here. And like, so at times I've been like, God, I'm such an idiot. I should have never have thought that a attic-based office was a good idea. Why did we ever move to this place? But you couldn't have predicted it. Well, could have sort of predicted it a little bit, but like not to this extent. Like the lived experience of British summer is that it gets to about sort of 25, maybe 28 on a really good day, and it's just generally lovely, and it's like, oh, isn't the summer nice? I wish it could be summer all year round. But the last couple of years it's just been like hotter than the sun. And just we as a country just aren't ready for it at all in terms of our architecture or the way these houses are built and things like that. Designed to keep the heat in, you know, which is what makes being in an attic even worse. Because I'm where all the insulation is. And if you want to get really technical with it, the bit that I am currently sat in this room is south facing. We have a south facing house with a north facing garden. So the bit I'm sat in currently right now is a south facing attic. So it just sits and gets cooked in the heat all day. And it never ever has a chance to break. It's not until significantly later in the day. Boop 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 boop. King Charles predicted it in the 80s, to be fair. I think lots of climate scientists did as well. It's just shocking how awful the conditions can get up here. It just hurts the concentration as well. Like, when it... You know, I generally... I struggle with that anyway, you know? Especially if it's, like, doing something that I'm, like, not particularly into. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, with Armageddon, right? I like Space Marines a lot. I do. And I enjoy painting Space Marines because Space Marines are my favourite sort of model, 40k models to paint. But I don't love painting orcs. I've never really loved painting orcs. Not since I was very young, and even back then I didn't really paint. So, like, I don't love painting orcs. So it's difficult to keep that sort of motivation up during extremely heavy heat. This is orc slander. I've not said anything bad about orcs. That wouldn't pass the bar. Is it exorbitantly expensive in the UK? It's not exorbitantly expensive in the UK. It is expensive. What it is a case of it's not ever something that comes as standard. It's not a default position of any build. So like houses aren't designed with having AC in mind. You know, you don't build houses and just be like, oh, and we put AC in them. So it is expensive because it's a purchase that is always going to be on top. Um, I mean, it's an expensive purchase, right? But it's like, yeah, you're not gonna, you don't. It doesn't come as standard. It's not like a. It's not a thing because our country generally is supposed to be cooler and wetter, not hot and dry. So the houses are designed to. They're designed for Britain's typical climate, which is to make them more efficient to heat. Is how houses are designed here. And in the past, it's always been the case that if you do have a particularly warm summer, there's no point getting AC given as its relative cost to the time that it spends being hot here. So we're not supposed to have months and months and months of heat, but that's changing. But yeah, like a good portable unit of aircon will set you back sort of. Like a good one will set you back between £300 and, well, how long's a piece of string? The best one I've found for a reasonable price was £300, and that's intended to like heat a room that's like a small bedroom. Well, you only have 2 more months of this. I bloody hope we don't have 2 months of this. If we have 2 months of this, I'm going to be in serious trouble. It needs to cool off soon. Otherwise, we're going to go down to like 1 video a week, and then YouTube will get really pissy with me. Oh yeah? You're going to go down to 1 video a week? No streaming? Well, we're not going to recommend your channel to anyone. How about that? What did I do, YouTube? You know what you did. YouTube's mean, guys. Two. In Germany, we have this basically the same situation, and my office is similar to yours. My mobile porter split AC was €700. That's outrageous. Now during the heat wave, they are €1,500. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is it's like you. It makes sense to like buy. It makes sense to like buy like AC units and big fans and cooling stuff. It makes sense to do that all during the winter, but you're not thinking about that because you're having to spend so much money on your heating. So, because, you know, energy crisis and all that. So, it just becomes this thing of like, oh, I should really think about getting a AC installed in the winter because it becomes much, much cheaper. If you're trying to do it now during this kind of thing, they'll just be like, we can charge you whatever you want, whatever we want. Which is just, it's awful. I bought it 1 week before the heat wave and made me a reminder for November to buy a second one. That is a good idea. I like that. That's nice. Start making vlogs where you talk about Warhammer. Oh, nobody wants to hear that. Also, where do I film them? It's not. I'd have to come up here to film them anyway. It's horrible up here. You know? Therein lies the problem. How about fans with the water tank? I have one of those. That's what's on right now. The best conversation I had with about this was with name is long enough to be annoying, and he was talking about how the best solution is just bigger fans. Um, just get the biggest possible fan you can. The downside with that, of course, is that it's the noise, right? And of course, you know, the electrical output, and in my case as well is actually having the place to put it. There is not a lot of room to put things up here. Because we are at capacity in this house. That's the best way to describe it. But we went to, for those of you who are interested in the house move saga, the longest house move saga of all times. We, a couple of weeks back, went to go and look at a house. And we really, really liked it. We put an offer in. It has been accepted. So we are moving along again now. We've had many setbacks on this journey. But we are moving along. Tell me on 20 to 6, 27. I'm going to try my hardest to get this black on these 4 guys, but then we are probably going to wrap things up because I am struggling. It is grim. Pay 3 more AC units. No, you don't need to do that. Let's do this instead. If you would like to help support the channel, we've set another goal. We're going to go to try and get 100 gifted members. But of course, if you don't want to do that, that's all absolutely fine. Please do leave a like on the stream there if you haven't already. I haven't seen what the like counter is actually. We're on 34 likes. Can we pump that to 50? 50 likes for 50 hot Josh. Josh in 50 degrees. It's never reached 50 up here, thankfully. I think if it had ever reached 50 up here, we would have some melted models. I'm pretty sure. That's one thing one of the things I'm very much dreading is that when it cools down, I do want to go out to the shed. There's a lot of my models are stored in the shed. Thing is, when it gets this hot, it gets very hot up here, but it gets extremely hot out there. And I worry that I'll go out there one day and just find like a gelatinous pool of melted plastic. You know, it'll look like, for those fans of Doctor Who and the David Tennant years, it'll look like the Absorbaloth, played by Peter Kay. Just see Marnius Calgar's face still intact. Absorbed into a chaos night. And the air movement, which dries stuff super fast. Which is never great. Your tutorials have helped me better myself at painting. I always look for your videos whenever I start something new, so I truly thank you for your help. Oh, that's very kind. I'm glad I could help. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to help you guys paint your models. Beep 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 bow bow bow. Has this microphone been picking up the wind? Because very occasionally I'm feeling a gust of wind from the window. And I worry that it's buffeting the mic. Has that been happening? It's what was happening while I was trying to record the starter set stuff. In the end, I had to just do it all with manual voiceover, which I don't love. It slows me down. Aside from when I pass gas. Okay, cool. Who's got some inspiring words to help me get through this next 15 to 20 minutes? Boop, boop, boop. No. I almost forgot to thank you again for your Krieg advice and videos. Painted Commissar yesterday, follow your tutorial and it looks phenomenal. Good. Well done. But you did that. I did very little. Believe in yourself. What do we got? I will have you know, the secret thing that's shipping tomorrow, I got that early and I'm shipping it to you to get in your hands sooner. So when I still don't have mine next Thursday because of GW, remember. And so you have forgotten me. Have I talked about this before on the channel about how much I love The Lion King? I'm pretty sure I have. I'm pretty sure that's common law. I was when I was a young warthog. Again, something I say all the time. when I was a young warthog, I remember the year that The Lion King came out, and you know, both my parents worked, and so they would work during the summer holidays. So they would leave us with various child carers, like my grandparents and a babysitter here and a best friend there and all this kind of thing. And I remember the summer that Lion King came out, I went with various other people to see it at the cinema no less than 6 times. 6 times, because it was like, what are we going to do today with the children? Let's just take them to see The Lion King. Never with the same people. I was the constant. 6 times. And I just fell in love with the film. I mean, you will do if you see it that many times, right? But, like, yeah, saw it 6 times at the cinema. And that feat was not replicated again until a few years later, when The Lord of the Rings came out. And I saw Fellowship, I think it was 4 times. The Two Towers I saw 6 times. Return of the King I saw 3 times. I was obsessed. It's a canon event. You're a sensitive soul, though you seemed thick-skinned. Oh, I am not thick-skinned at all. I'm extremely thin-skinned. Being on the internet is not a profession that someone like me should be doing. And I know you're quoting the film. It's kind of like immersion therapy, though. You know? You just kind of, like, get used to people being rageful. I now have a new policy where when I get a comment that upsets me, I'm just going to pay it forward in terms of compliments to somebody else. So if you start seeing me sharing other people's work, I did it yesterday. I shared James Mathias's wonderfully painted Adrax Agatone over on Instagram, but I'm just going to start sharing that stuff because I'm just tired of being, you know, like a punching bag for somebody else who's having a bad day and decides to just take it out on me. So instead, I'm going to try and use that energy and turn it into something positive. Was I the one who wrote? No, it wasn't you. I said it wasn't you at the time earlier when I was just talking about it. It wasn't you. No. I had a question. My Black Legion paint is about a quarter full now, but it's starting to feel thicker than other contrast paints. How best can I fix this? You could probably just drop, like, a couple of brushfuls of Lamy and Medium into it. That'll help it. It does happen. It does happen with contrast paints. It's just sort of... I mean, it happens with all paints, right? They start to kind of lose their efficacy the longer that they are open and the more they're used, and sort of you're getting down towards... you say a quarter used or a quarter full now? Yeah. So yeah, that is kind of that just happens with all paint, really. But if you just drop a little bit of medium into it, that should help keep it flowing nicely. But it happens to me. It's just I get through the paints so much quicker. Obviously, because I'm using them typically a lot. I usually get down to about when there's a 1/10 of it left, and that's when I crack the new pot. And then I sort of change what that pot's for. So, like, I get through a whole pot of Black Legion, but, like, I will have, like, the dregs of Black Legion in an old pot be used for doing the base rims, rather than, like, the fresh Black Legion from the fresh pot. This is common knowledge, as well as your undying love for the new Star Wars saga. So much lies. Now, so that is an example of slander. Where'd all my complaints go? Did you do some complaints? I missed those. You think the old world starter box / core set will be helpful, or do you not care for Battle March? No, I think it's a very, very, very good idea. I think it's excellent. I think that is look, as somebody who is not I'm not like confident enough in my ability to memorize or interact well with a game like the old world. I think the old world is just a little bit more in the same way like Horus Heresy used to be, less so these days, but they're just supposed to be a little bit more complicated, a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more difficult to master. I think Battle March is a fantastic idea because it helps people sort of dip a toe and learn the basics of the game in the same way that Spearhead does for Age of Sigmar, and the way Combat Patrol should do for 40k, but doesn't because it's wildly imbalanced and no one likes it. So I think Battle Marches is excellent. Again, it will depend on, similar to Combat Patrol and Spearhead, it will depend on how well balanced and thought through it is. Because there will be naturally some things that will have an advantage over some others based on what comes in their Battle March box. So if the game is able to accommodate that, if it has been built from not the ground up, but if it's been thought about very seriously, I think it will be an excellent addition to the Warhammer, the old world sort of experience. And actually it fills me with more confidence that I could perhaps play it and enjoy it rather than have to go in at sort of 2 or 2.5 or 3,000 points, which is a huge amount of investment. I mean, this is the thing, is I think if you've been on the fence about getting into the old world because everybody around you who's playing it has already, because they've been doing Warhammer Fantasy Battles for 30 years and they kept their Empire State Troops and all this kind of thing, those people are able to walk back into old world with not an advantage, but they are able to walk back in and just be like, oh yeah, no, I actually only need Harald Gurmason or whatever his name is. That's the only one I need to get. So that's one model versus the, kind of close to 100 or massive amounts of plastic that you might have to buy and invest in, especially when it's older models like Empire. They are older, and they're not horrible models of the Empire State Troops, but they are older. They're not like Cathay, for example, or indeed these new Chaos Warriors, which are gorgeous. They are older models, right? So it is a huge time and a huge money and a huge amount of painting effort to invest into a game that you might not necessarily be sure about, especially if you aren't somebody who, grew up and knows a bit about old world because they were around for Warhammer Fantasy Battles. If you're somebody who came into Warhammer in the last sort of 10 years, it's an investment that is a risk because it's very different to how Age of Sigmar and 40k, Kill Team, Warcry. It's very different to how all of those games play. Like the movement mechanics alone in the old world is enough to throw people. It's enough to throw me. Like, wheeling formations, and that actually takes out some of your inches of movement, and you have to kind of do some complicated maths at times and all this kind of thing. So my point being is Battle Marches I think is excellent because I think it does just open it up for a lot of people to test to see if they like it. And if they don't, they don't. And if they do, then they might expand their army into something else. But I think it's great. I'm I'm a big fan. I was complaining about the lack of complaints. Ah. I see. Aren't we supposed to complain about everything in this hobby? Yeah, that is what some people do. It's sad. But those people complain about literally everything all of the time. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I have pity for people who are so angry about everything that they can't enjoy anything. You know, it's sad. It's a hard existence for somebody to live with that much sort of bottled up inside them. Especially if the only way they get to release it is by, you know, just ruining my day, you know. And if that makes them feel better, then, you know, it's actually, it's more of a sort of, I have pity for somebody like that. It upsets me that I was the chosen target of their ire, but I also am old enough and ugly enough to know that some people have got it really tough, or just some people are just so mad at everything that they're venting in a way that is horrible towards me. It's not excusable, but I do understand it. I try to have grace for them. Sometimes it's very personal, you know, personal attacks upon me, you know, about the way I sound, the way I look, about my skill, about, you know, things like that. And like that stuff is is what it is, you know. It's amazing how unappealing Combat Patrol is compared to Spearhead and even Kill Team. I think the interesting thing about Combat Patrol is, I think the 40k as a game system is very much like, it's very much community led. I think it's more community led than some others. I think like Age of Sigmar, for example, is very Games Workshop led, and I don't mean that as like a bad thing at all. But I think like 40k is very, 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 very community led, and the reason I think it's kind of a bit of a detriment is, I think if all you ever see from people is, like, for example, I haven't personally seen any YouTuber or any kind of community talking about 11th edition in the context of Combat Patrol. Right? It's all been 2,000 points, such and such versus such and such. So the online discourse generally from the community is, this is the way you play 40k. So in that regard, it feels like it's not popular at all. because nobody is really playing it. And I think because of that, it ends up in a situation where a lot of people are like, why would I play Combat Patrol? Everybody that I know plays X, plays 2,000 points. And I think, like, I haven't been to a Warhammer club in a very long time, or a Warhammer group or something, but most of the time when I do speak to people who run those clubs or things like that, I'm often talking to them through the context of, hey man, just wanted to drop you a note to say thank you so much for the video on how to paint the Hivestorm terrain. I've just had to do 20 sets for the club so that people can play 40k. And I'm like, but you don't need to do... Is that 20 tables? Or is that 10 tables worth because everyone's only playing 2,000 points? And it's because everyone's only playing 2,000 points. So I think because the community itself talks online a lot about about 2,000 points, there is a perception that you should only play 2,000 points, and as a consequence it means that the only thing that really gets played, or the only thing that anybody really does, is 2,000 points, because you don't see a lot of people. For example, I would be like, I could look up how to play Space Marines or something like that. How to play Blood Angels in 11th edition, and it will be very difficult to find any videos there that will be like, here's how great they are in Combat Patrol, Whereas I think with Age of Sigmar, you do see that with Spearhead. I think people do produce content where they review Spearheads, and in my case, I've painted a number of Spearheads and stuff like that, rather than it's like, here's the 2,000 points, off you go. It's here's Spearhead, and Spearhead, as a consequence, gets a lot of positive praise and positive reinforcement. A lot of people talk about how great Spearhead is because it is fantastic. Now, Combat Patrol isn't great, but I don't see a lot of people talking about it. They just go, it's boring, move on. In the same way with Crusade. Crusade was the same thing. You didn't see a lot of Crusade going on the internet. I'm not saying the internet is the be all and end all of everything, and the people who engage with YouTube videos and Instagrammers and TikTokers and all this kind of thing, it's actually a small percentage of people who are into Warhammer versus what it feels like, where it can be like there's a huge amount of people out there, but it's just not. That's just not the case, right? So there's a lot more people who have been doing Warhammer as long as I have, who don't engage with YouTube at all, because they do their thing in their own group with their mates. And that's there's way more of them than there are online communities who aren't engaging with it at all. So it's the thing of Combat Patrol probably is played very successfully somewhere, but no one's talking about it. Same for Crusade. I know a lot of gaming groups together who we're doing a Crusade campaign. That's what I heard that a lot. But the online discourse isn't, let's try Crusade and let's work through it. It's, here's 2,000 points of X versus Y. And that's because it's the easiest content to produce. With a put the burgers in the bag, put the fries in the bag, bro. Hey Josh, as a fan of Lord of the Rings, have you ever read Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun? I have not. No. I'll put that on my recommended reading list. There's some YouTube accounts that legit just exist to be unhappy at Warhammer and please do something else. Lol. Well, and this is the thing. So we talk about this all the time here on the channel about how YouTube and social media incentivizes rage. It incentivizes hot takes. It incentivizes clickbait. Essentially, that is what it does. And people, I think, when you find, if ever, I think you guys know that, and I'm not saying that I'm the arbiter of anything ever, but you guys know that if I don't like something, I'm not saying it to be cool. I'm telling you because I don't like it. There are people who say things that they don't mean because they want clicks and views to grow their channel. Because they actually, deep down, that is the thing, is deep down they really, really like this stuff. It's there, and often when you find those channels, if you go back far enough in their content, there will be stuff that will be like, this is really cool, and it gets like 16 views. But then they do one. It's the fruit of the poison tree. Is they do one video where it's like, this is the worst joystick Games Workshop's ever made, and then they get 50,000 views on it, and it's like, oh, that's how you get it. You know, and then it just becomes a perpetuating cycle, and to the point of where you are sat with all of this rage that you've manufactured at first, but you know, it's easy to at a certain point start believing your own lie. You know, if you stay in the rage machine, you become rageful. If you watch too much rage content, you become rageful. It just happens. Even if you're a really positive person and you're really excited for the thing, you suddenly start being like, hey, I hate this thing. And you're like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And if you feel like you're starting to hate something, don't do it anymore. That's the other part of it. That is the funniest side of it, is if you make content where as a YouTuber or as an Instagrammer or whatever, if you make content about how bad stuff is for Games Workshop, but then on the other side of it, you go to a Warhammer tournament and you paint Warhammer miniatures and you're still doing Warhammer, regardless of which way you're doing it, you're still engaging with it. So if it's really that much of a problem, just walk away from it. You don't need it anymore. Like, heal thyself. You know? That's what you should do. Streams are back on the menu. Is the weather more bearable now? Oh, it is not bearable. In fact, we're gonna mist. I'm gonna mist myself. Here we go. So much relief. Honestly, lifesaver. Get yourself, like, Alice is genius. Like I said, she uses this to water the plants. But for the last couple of weeks, it's been the mystery. Mystery bottle. It's genius, this. She's a smart cookie. The other one she recommended that we do, and if you guys haven't done this during the hot weather, I thoroughly recommend it, is take a hot water bottle, fill it with water, freeze it overnight. You've got yourself a huge block of ice that you can use to just cuddle and keep yourself cool. It is genius. The woman's a genius, I'm telling you. There have been times during the Aspiring Champion. There's a bit in the video where I was cuddling one of these cold water bottles, and it was like sort of melting. I remember as I was painting it. It might be in the video. It probably is. I haven't done it yet. The one on the horse is. There was a drip that just went down my leg, but it felt like it was like a spider or something. So as I was going, I went, ah! I have to. What you might see in the video is like it will be like we'll be like, I'll be going like this, painting away, and then I'll just go like that, because you won't hear it because I have to replace the voiceover anyway. Because all you'll be able to hear otherwise is the noise of this fan back here. Hello, the Death Guard Tyrant. Shade that face with just a tiny bit of water. Yeah, honestly. Yeah. No, try it. If you've got a spare hot water bottle, fill it with cold water and put it in the freezer, and you can use that to cool yourself. It's really good. It's really good. And also, for watering your plants, get a little spray bottle, and you can use this. If you just spray your face, it cools you down. If you store this in the fridge, it becomes cold water as well. But just spray it on your face, and then sit in front of the fan, and you'll be like, ah. Have you thought about getting AC installed during the winter when there is less demand for units? No, because this is not my house, and I'm not allowed to do things like that. This is a rented accommodation. Watering the beard. Oh yeah, we've got to do that. Give it some... That's how it grows. For anybody wondering. If you have a moment, would you like to check out the cankerborn I just put in Discord? Well, check out the cankerborn you just put in Discord. Where have you put the cankerborn just in Discord? Ah, right there. Oh, that's a nice looking Cankerborn. Oh, that's really pretty. Well done on that. The green looks great. The sword looks fantastic as well. That's a good job. Great work. You should be really proud of that one. Have you done the other one? Before I get a better apartment, I just had a window AC unit that I'd set up and take down yearly in my apartments. Yeah, so that would be something that I would have looked at doing. The problem is there's only one window, and it's a skylight over there. And finding something that's actually compatible with something like that is very difficult. The problem is, fundamentally, that I am in a English house that was built in the 1950s in a loft conversion. That is the fundamental problem. So being up here, it's the analogy I've been using to describe it to people is no matter what AC unit you have, unless it's something that's like 21,000 BTU, what you're trying to do by cooling this room up here, because of it traps the heat all day, it's in the sun all day, because like I said, the sun is there in front of me right now. It's cooking in this because I'm southward facing, so the sun is like sort of just about there. But this part of the house is always in the sun. There's not a lot of airflow. There's only one window. There's nothing coming through like this. It's just it's if it blows in this way, but it just gets trapped in, right? So fundamental problem being up here is being in the loft is I'm surrounded by insulation as well. It's designed to trap the heat. This is supposed to be the heat trap so that we can more efficiently heat the house because it's a British house. So putting an AC unit up here, unless you're sat in it, you're only getting directionally cool air from that bit anyway. Trying to cool the room to make the room a place that's nice to sit in and work, it's like setting your oven to as the highest temperature that you can, and then being like, right, let's use an AC to bring that down to 200. You know, that has been the fundamental problem with this place. So it is a ever losing battle. Finished them both. Got 3 models left on the Dark Water set. Would only be 2, but had to strip Gelgus Pust after getting a hair trapped in his green armour. Oh, yeah, been there, done that. Large bowl full of ice in a room works great too. Yeah, you're supposed to put one of those in front of the window or in front of a fan, right? So it blows the coolness that's radiating, of the cool radiation of the ice. But yeah, it is what it is. Right, well, we've done the Black Legion on 4 of the Chaos Warriors. We've also highlighted the silver on all 8 of our Chaos Warriors. But we are not going to really be able to do very much more with the time that's given us to us. Because I don't have the... It's not going to... There's not enough time really to do the black on the other 4. So we are probably just going to wrap things up there. But there we go. That's how far we've got with this. It's taking forever, but it's because it's very, very difficult to do this up here. It is currently 36 degrees up here. So I'm going to go because it's very, very, very warm. But I will be back with more videos. Like we talked about it earlier, we've got the Lord of Hysteria, we've got the Aspiring Champion on Demonic Steed, we have the Daka Rig, we have Rohan Command, we have the Dunlending or Hill Tribesman Command as well. All of those are coming to a channel near you very soon. Now, if it's cool enough, we shall try and attempt to stream on Wednesday. Theoretically, it should be possible on Wednesday because it will be a little bit later. But as I was talking about earlier, like when I were young, the hottest part of the day would be around about 1-2 o'clock. But as it has kind of borne out recently around here, the hottest part of the day has turned out to be 4-5-6 o'clock. So yeah, it's currently 26. So it's come down a degree, but it was 27 half an hour ago outside. So yeah, it's rough. So we shall have to wait and see what's going on. Yes, 36 up here, Martin. It's because we've got big panel light here, big panel light there, big computer down here, monitor, camera, microphone, cloud lifter, and what's that thing called? Audio interface. So it's all radiating heat at me. And I'm in a little sun trap, basically, with no aircon, with no air. So, yeah, we're on our way. We're on our way. Yeah, all that stuff coming this week. So yeah, hope to see you. Hopefully on Wednesday. We shall have to. Have to give it a go. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. It's good to be back, even if it is just for this week. And I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye for now. Love you, chat. Bye. Ta-da.